Hi, and welcome to another edition of ESBR School News. Today, we're very fortunate to have the head of school, Dr. Kendra Rickerby, who is here to just kind of look over and talk about this last year that we just finished up. Finishing up the second full year of the school. What do you think, Kendra, were some of the highlights that you'd like to reflect on?
Yeah, thank you for having me. The highlight was really being awarded the Vermont Arts Council grant, which Susan Hafner, our performing arts teacher, and myself wrote. And we had students read a series of different literature. Some were children's literature from the 30 titles that the Orion magazine recommended kids read around the holidays about environmental stewardship, which is a key piece to our schools, one of our educational pillars. And then they read Hoot, and we talked about the different ways to advocate for the environment and what are some of the problems that we as a culture address. And it was a real highlight to see the kids come together and write their own script that dealt with pollution and forecasted some solutions. That performance, We Are Nature, was on stage at the town hall back in May. I know the video is somewhere on Okemo Valley TV's website. I forget the actual date, but it was exceptional to just sit back and watch students who, one of the things that distinguishes us is we like to get kids out from behind their desk, talking and working with each other, and to see kids really focus on memorizing their lines and then smoothly and confidently pronouncing those lines on stage was a true highlight. We wrapped that project up with then a Forest Friday where ESBR students met some of the kindergartners from Ludlow Elementary, and we read those books that had helped them write the script for the play. That was also a highlight to hear our big kids comment on the little kids and just be like, having fun with each other in the woods.
Well, it looked like they had a great time performing that. They had a special instructor for that too, didn't they?
Correct, yes. Susan Hafner has been with us since we opened in September 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. And she is a Broadway actress who does phenomenal work. And the Vermont Arts Council grant that we wrote hired her to choreograph and direct that whole performance.
And she works also with the Weston Playhouse?
She does, here and there. She's also just, I wish I could remember the exact, she also just got an award for a play that she was in out of state. So she works in a variety of different settings.
Well, I could tell that she was very, very proud of those students and their professionalism that day on the play was just phenomenal. Were there some hiccups here or there? Yeah, and yet they were able to roll with it, which was wonderful. The audience loved it, and it got across a message too about the environment and what could happen and what some solutions were. I thought it was wonderful.
Well, and thank you to you and your family for being in the audience.
Wow, I enjoyed that very, very much. Other highlights for the year?
Yeah, another highlight also on the topic of performing arts and theater is we had 3 students participate in the Weston Playhouse Playwrights Project. And it was truly remarkable on a Monday night to go out to Weston and see a group of students from throughout southern Vermont who had never met each other come together and perform each other's skits as if they knew each other for years. And then bringing that back into the classroom, the confidence and the motivation that those 2 different, the We Are Nature and the Weston Playwrights, brought to the students who participated, and it was really exciting to observe.
We had a couple of the students speak here about those performances, and it certainly made a big impact on them.
Another highlight though, Gary, and thank you to you all for helping get the grant for that, was we ended the year playing tennis, and it was a highlight because it is an activity that every student willingly did and enjoyed. So
yes, that was a lot of fun. As an independent school, we have some opportunities to provide other type of activities. Maybe not quite all the traditional sports, but there were kids who skied this year, right? And the kids that did the tennis. I know also in that grant they have some pickleball equipment, and I was just talking to the rec director, and they're going to maybe put in some lines out there, plus they have the winter, they can do pickleball there too. But plus I see the students outside a lot at the school playing all sorts of different things as far as just recreation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and they do. I mean, we had a pretty robust horticulture program for our environmental science, and one of their assignments was to recreate a board game. And so it was also fun to watch, with all that's going on in the world, kids trading broccoli for cauliflower and moving up chutes and ladders, and just finding joy in learning and appreciating being detached from the devices.
You had a science teacher that has quite a lot of experience. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
Yeah, Mr. Hires has started a program called Seeds and Trees. He's a retired educator from the Woodstock area, and he came weekly and taught horticulture and landscaping and some design around gardens and how you maintain that. But he also is really a key player and will be next year as we plan more field trips, because that's truly the spirit of expeditionary learning. But Mr. Hires coordinated a field trip where we went to the Billings Farm and Kelly Way Gardens and the Reading Greenhouse, and then a separate field trip on a different day. We went to the cheese factory and Calvin Coolidge's birthplace out in Plymouth, and so it's just always nice to see the way Mr. Hires takes the science and brings it into the natural environment that surrounds us.
Right, that's great. He certainly seemed to have quite a lot of expertise. So let's see. Plus, when I come into the school, I see all sorts of things up on the board, discussions. These students are learning through their readings, but also through current events. And
yeah, I mean, that's a passion of mine, being a former high school English and social studies teacher. I guess I'm not former, if I'm still teaching,
right.
But that was the beginning of my career, and I'm coming back to that. So we use Newsella, which is a current event, but it's really targeted for schools. And what I like about it is you can identify the reading levels of different students, and so you can have different ages, 7th through 12th grade, which we serve, and different comfort levels with reading college ready texts and that, and then everyone comes together and talks about the topic. So we did spend a lot of time dissecting and analyzing the history between the Ukraine and the conflict that is continuing now, and we broke down oligarchy and hierarchy and bureaucracy, and teaching vocabulary through the current events.
Yeah, that's wonderful, and so important for them to be engaged in that thoughtful process and seeing different viewpoints.
Absolutely. I mean, I was really proud. We took time to talk about gun control and have a little bit of a debate. When I asked the kids what did they think they could do in response to Uvalde and Buffalo, a handful of them commented, "Let's keep building out our kind and respectful school."
Well,
that felt good. That was a highlight too.
That is a very big highlight. So what about, what are you looking forward to in year 3? We're going into year 3.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, there's lots to look forward to. Of course, there's still the state approval. That's very big. We're hoping that that's going to come to happen this fall, at least by this fall. And if that happens, we can even expand the school even farther.
Yeah, and that is our priority. A top priority is to grow in size and demographics. For year 3, we have 20 students ready to be there August 31st. And I'm really excited about that. We have 8 new families who will be at ESBR for the first time this fall. And we have some who have been with us since day one. And it's really cool to see those who were here in September 2020 welcoming and developing the leadership skills to help us transition with the new families that are coming. We will be starting a wait list. We've been getting more inquiries about who we are, and the AOE approval process, as you said, is key to our growth, and the goal is to have that complete as soon as possible.
Right, because with that approval comes the tax dollars that right now can go to any school. That way they can support our school, and it can allow for more staff and more students.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. That would be great. Where do we stand, do you think, as far as that state approval? What are the hiccups?
We had our site visit on March 30th, and the hiccup right now is communication on what are our next steps and where are our areas of improving. I instinctively feel I know what they are, but we're waiting for the draft report.
Yes, they had promised that pretty soon, but we're still waiting to get that draft report back.
Yeah, we had the site visit on March 30th, and we officially submitted our application a year ago. Actually, just it was around July 20th that we submitted that application, and so once we get the draft report and we know what we need to improve on, we'll do that immediately, and we're just waiting to hear the timeline for when it will be moved forward.
And the students that are here this coming year, they're primarily certain grade levels?
We have 20 students enrolled starting August 31st. 12 are in 7th and 8th grade, which speaks to the foundation that we want to build off of. And 8 are 9th through 12th graders. We have one 12th grader, and we'll have...
Oh, excuse me. Hello.
No. We will have no 11th graders.
No 11th graders.
Actually.
Yep.
And
you have an exchange student next
we do.
year.
That's actually, thank you for bringing that up, Gary. A woman, a parent who had been an exchange student years ago at the old high school, who knows the community and some families here. She and her son will be arriving from Frankfurt, Germany in August, and he'll be with us to start the year.
In the fall. That would be exciting for the students too, the rest of the students. How about just finishing up on when people go by the school and they might wonder, what do you think the general public, what would you like the general public to know about ESBR?
We are committed to being a little bit different in the way we position ourselves as a school. And what I mean by that is we're really focused on being a school that strengthens the community, that can be a hub for attracting new families to this area and helping their children then find gainful employment upon graduation or navigate the variety of post-secondary opportunities Vermont has to offer. I've worked in public schools my whole career, and it's really exciting to have the partnership with the Fletcher Farm School of Arts and Crafts and the support of the foundation, and community events underway. We've been involved with the Ludlow area sport trails. What I want the public to know is that we are focused and determined to strengthen community, to provide a quality of life where kids are safe and healthy and finding joy in the process of coming to school.
That sounds wonderful. That sounds wonderful. Well, I'm excited for year 3, and congratulations for finishing 2 years.
Thank you.
And we look forward to more ESBR news in the future.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.